Let's begin with the truth that every founder knows, but only a few are going to say it. You didn't start your business just to make money. You started it because you believed that there was a better way to work, maybe a better way to lead, a better way to create value, show up for people, and shape your life around something meaningful. Yeah, absolutely. Revenue matters. It funds our goals. It opens doors. It gives you the freedom of choice. But if you're really honest, revenue alone has never been enough. And yet, somewhere along the way in the journey, the deeper reason got buried. It got buried under operations or deliverables, under managing people, tracking performance, putting out fires, hitting numbers, all the stuff. And somewhere in the grind of building, you lost sight of building something that could actually outlast you. Now, this is step 10 of empowerment design, expanding the ripple effect. And if you've made it this far in the series, thank you. And you also know that this isn't about tactics anymore. It's about legacy. Because at some point, you realize the real measure of your leadership isn't what happens while you're in the room. It's what continues when you're not. Now that's the ripple, the invisible but very real impact your business creates as it interacts with the world. And if your business isn't designed to ripple, it's designed to die the moment that you step away. That's what we're here to change. Now, let me say this plainly. You don't just lead a company. You lead a culture. You lead a pattern. You lead a philosophy that either multiplies beyond you or disappears with you. Now, most businesses never get to this level of reflection because they're just too busy holding everything and themselves together. But you're here now, which means that you're ready to build what lasts. So let's unpack what that actually looks like. Your ripple moves through a lot of different circles, your team, your culture, your family, your community. Let's talk a little bit about your team. And by team, I don't just mean the people that you're on your payroll. I mean the people who experience your leadership rhythm continually, daily sometimes. The people who are shaped by the way that you show up. And yes, that's your direct reports, your managers and your staff, but it could also be your clients, your contractors, your strategic partners, your vendors, everybody that you deal with. And now every single day, whether you realize it or not, your leadership is modeling how leadership works for everyone around you. Your assistant sees how you handle disappointment. Your project manager notices how you hold standard without shaming anyone. Your web designer learns what collaboration feels like under a direct, immediate pressure. And your client picks up on how you navigate boundaries, service, and scope creep. Your vendor might watch how you treat small relationships when no one else is working. And it doesn't stop there. The way you lead in your business sets a precedent for how they lead in theirs. The way you mentor through conflict teaches them how to do the same with their team. And the clarity in your systems gives them language that they'll implement and bring to their next client or colleague. The empathy in your feedback becomes the model that they reference when they're in charge. Listen, you're not just running a business. You're showing others how it's done well. That's the beginning of the ripple. And it starts wider than you can ever imagine. You are their case study. The way that you lead today is going to echo in the way that they lead tomorrow. Now, when you give someone clarity, you're not just helping them perform. You're teaching them to create clarity for others around them. And when you model calm and chaos, you're not just surviving the moment. You're showing them what grounded leadership can actually look like. Now, when you show empathy without sacrificing standards, you're really giving them permission to be strong and kind at the same time. And these things ripple. You may think you're just solving another team issue or running another meeting, but in reality, you're etching a pattern into how your people will lead long after they leave your business. That's what one of my clients, Ben, realized too late. He built a strong business, but he did everything by himself. He made all the calls, he took all the hits, and he never taught others how to lead. He just expected them to figure it out. When he finally burned out and had to step back, the business unraveled in like 6 months. Not because the product was bad, but because there was no leadership legacy. His team didn't know how to carry it because they'd never been invited to. Now, compare that to another client, Tasha. She intentionally used empowerment design to build leadership at every level. She didn't just teach the SOPs, she taught the thinking behind them. She didn't just delegate tasks, she transferred outcomes. Now, when she sold her business, her team didn't just maintain it, they actually grew it exponentially. They felt ownership over the mission and they made bold decisions. They carried the essence forward because the ripple had already been begun by Tasha. Let's talk about your culture. Culture is the container that shapes behavior long after you stop speaking. It's the residue of your leadership, and every little decision, from how you respond to mistakes to how you treat people under pressure, either reinforces or erodes your ripple. If your culture rewards silence, people will carry that silence into future rooms. If your culture punishes risk, they'll lead safe but small lives. And if your culture teaches perfection, they're going to burn out trying to be flawless. But if your culture normalizes ownership, they'll walk out of your doors knowing how to hold weight. If your culture makes feedback a gift, they'll give it freely wherever they go. If your culture empowers people to lead in their own way, they'll multiply that power wherever they land. You know what's beautiful about this? You'll never fully know how far it travels. You're going to hear stories 5 years down the road. A team member who left, but now mentors others using what you taught them. A client who took your frameworks into their own company. A vendor who maybe said, the way your team operated, it changed how we do business. You won't see all of it, but it's going to be happening. Let's talk about your family. This one's a little bit more intimate because let's face the reality. Your business has shaped how your family experiences you. It's taken your time, your energy, your attention. Some days it's taken your presence completely. So what has your leadership taught the people closest to you? Have they learned that being a founder means being too tired to connect? Have they learned that growth requires absence? Or have they learned something else? That success and sanity can actually live together. They coexist. That leadership doesn't require all that negative, bad stress. Maybe that a well-built business can serve your life instead of the other way around. My friends, when you lead with empowerment design, you're not just freeing yourself. You're changing what your family believes is actually possible. I'll never forget what one founder said after he installed ILS into his company. He said to me, my daughter told me, Dad, I like it when you're home now. You're not on your phone all the time. It wasn't just about screen time. It was about presence. That presence, that's a big part of the ripple. It's teaching the next generation what healthy leadership can really look like. Let's talk really quickly about your community, the clients who feel your culture when they work with your team, those vendors who experience your systems and carry those ideas into other companies, the industry peers who see how you lead, they start raising their own standards. It's not theoretical. It's happening already. Now, when your business leads well, people notice. They copy that clarity. They borrow the language. They feel the trust. And that trust, it spreads. That's how empowerment design becomes a movement. Not by going viral, but by going deep enough that others can't help but be changed by it. You've already seen this in glimpses. You've seen it in the person that said, I stole that thing you do in meetings. Our team loves it. Or the contractor who said something like, your project manager changed the way I think about ownership. Or maybe in the friend who watched you run your business with rhythm, presence, and freedom, and had the courage to start asking you, how are you doing it? Those aren't moments to dismiss. They are evidence that the ripple, it's real, and you are already expanding your leadership beyond the walls of your org chart. Evidence that your impact is being carried by people you might never meet, but who feel your presence through someone that you empowered. And if that doesn't count as success, boy, I don't know what does. So let's land it here. You built this business for freedom, for clarity, for impact, for leadership that lasts. You didn't come this far just to scale revenue. You came here to lead something that changes people. And now you get to decide how far that change reaches, because this is your invitation to stop measuring success only by income and start measuring it by inheritance. Now, I'm not talking about just what you leave behind in assets. I'm talking about what you leave behind in identity. Your leadership is the seed, empowerment design is the soil, and the ripple is the harvest. And it's time to expand it. The true mark of leadership is the impact that outlives our involvement. Now, on Thursday, we're going to come to the end of this series on empowerment design. It's been so rewarding for me. Thank you so much. But come back and see how we all wrap it up together, because it's impactful and I believe it will change lives. Now, until Thursday, let's go out and build what lasts together. Thanks.